Welcome. In today's practice, we're going to be working on opening up the chest region. So much of our days seem to be hunched over, maybe at the computer or on your cell phone. And we want to begin to move into more of a chest open posture in our yoga practice. If you would like to find some chest opening at the end of class, you might want to have a blanket or a towel. We're going to place this under our head and our spine, and this will allow us to open up more fully during final relaxation. Remember that you can always use a blanket or a pillow to sit on the very edge of so that you can relax your hips down. Welcome to class. If you want to come with me, and the music, you can go ahead and start your Spotify playlist. Arriving in the here and now, in the space and time you've created for yourself. You can let your eyes go into a soft gaze or close them. Breathing in and out through the nose. Noticing the rise and the fall of the chest. Doing a body scan and just noticing if there's any place in your body where you're holding tension unnecessarily. And soften around that sensation. Now you can stay in stillness, or we're going to come into some shoulder rolls. So you can bring your palms down, and what we're going to do is we're going to hunch our shoulders up and then roll them to the back. Inhale up, exhale down. And when you're ready, let's take it the reverse, up and forward. And one more time around. Bringing your shoulders back to center. Let's touch the shoulders with our fingertips. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one arm back and then the other arm back. It's almost as if you're rowing motion, the arms. Just noticing how this feels. You can imagine the point of the elbow drawing a line. And notice that you are traveling to the back. So we're going to reverse it. So one arm comes forward, the other arm comes forward. Kind of a swimming motion. And let's bring it back to center and release those arms down. We're going to take our arms up Inhale and then exhale, straight out to the sides, palms down. Let's come over to one side, planting the hand, reaching the arm up and over, creating positive tension in that arm. Palm is facing to the earth. And then bring it back to center. Other side. Reach, 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 reach. Feel that side body. Deep breath in. Exhale back to center. And then twist. Opposite hand to opposite knee. You can place your fingertips behind, straighten the spine, and look behind your shoulder. And then let's bring it back through center, other side. Taking it back through center. We're going to find our way onto all fours. You can pad your knees if you like. And we're going to come into extended child's pose. So I like to bring my knees apart, my big toes together, and then just letting your upper body relax forward. So let's see our first big chest opening here with our forehead down. See if you can relax your chest a little bit closer to the floor, hips towards heels. Taking some deep breaths. We're going to come up onto all fours. A little cat and cow. Knees come in, hands right underneath your elbows, right underneath your shoulders, pressing the mat away. You could dome up the upper spine, cat pose, letting your belly sag to the floor, cow pose, flexion and extension of the spine. Tops of feet could be on the mat or curled under. Exhale, the spine up, navel into spine. Inhale, looking up. Sensing your sternum and your heart. A couple more times. We're going to come onto our knees and check out how that feels. If this doesn't feel good to you to sit on your heels, you can always feel free to come up. Just make sure that you keep your tail tucked, your strength in your front of your belly. We're going to bring our hands to interlace in front, fingers interlaced, and then pressing palms away. So really press, 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 pull your fingers back and feel into your forearms. Let's slowly bring this up, stopping wherever you want to explore, maybe here at a 45-degree angle. Maybe you could bring it all the way up, but keep your tail tucked, your spine strong, nice and straight. Breathe wherever you are. Perfect in every iteration of this. And then slowly bring it back down. Turning the palms to the heart. We're going to interlace the hands behind. Maybe you can squeeze your shoulders. Maybe you want to keep your hands next to your sacrum and elbows bent, squeezing the shoulders together. Maybe it's okay for you to straighten your arms. So you decide, maybe elbows bent and you're just squeezing your elbows, arms straight. Make sure to keep a tuck in the tail. Strengthen the low belly so you don't overarch your low back. Now looking up, just gently keep a little tension in the front of your neck. Feel that opening in the front of the chest. Take a deep breath in. Let's release it. We're going to come back onto all fours. We're going to curl the toes under and come into our downward dog. Feet are hip width apart. They're parallel. See if you can get your tailbone up to the sky. Your arms straight, maybe relaxing your chest through between your hands. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, coming into our forward fold. You could grab opposite elbows if you like, and see if you can get the top of your head to face the earth. You can always bend your knees, paying attention to your low back, how it feels. Feeling upside down. And then coming up with either a straight back or rounding up. You could keep your hands and your elbows attached. Come up, maybe arms come up over the head. And then elbows can come down. Nice. Let's step to the front of our mat. So today we're going to step back into a high lunge. So what this means is that we're going to step straight back. We're going to shift our body weight to the left foot, and the right leg steps straight back. And I want you to feel into this opening in the front of the hip, that back hip. Maybe you could step it back a little bit more. You want your head and your shoulders right over your chest here for this one. Hands could stay on hips or palms up, breathe up, and then relax your shoulders down. Breathe here. I'm on the ball of my back foot. My heel is up off the ground, and my back leg is straight. So I'm feeling some flexibility, my calf and my back of my ankle. From here, we're going to bring our hands down, and then we're going to forward fold over this leg, holding it here. And we're going to keep this front leg where it is, and I'm going to twist towards it. So I'm going to plant my opposite hand down, and then I'm going to twist, and I'm going to reach my arm up. It's a dynamic arm. So reaching up, breathing. Taking a deep breath in, let's bring that hand back down. We're going to step that front foot back, downward dog. Coming forward into plank. You can always drop your knees, pressing the mat away, dome up the upper back. Knees can drop, chest can drop, elbows underneath your shoulders. Sphinx pose. Pull yourself forward and then lift the heart. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back up. Hands underneath the shoulders. Kneeling. Curl your toes. Downward dog. Walking your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Grabbing opposite elbows, letting your arms get nice and heavy. Either coming up with a straight back or bending your knees. Rolling up. Arms come down. And then stepping to the front of the mat for the other side. This time, the right leg gets to step back. So stepping, the left leg gets to step back. Is that right? Right leg gets to step back. Opposite leg, whatever that one was. I think it was this one actually, my left leg. Hands onto your hips. This could be where you want to feel into the side. Take a moment to feel into that back hip, long back leg, heel up off the ground. Option, arms up, palms facing each other, shoulders pressed down, breathe. We're going to bring those hands back down. We're going to forward fold, and we're going to plant the opposite hand. And we're going to roll towards or turn towards, rotate towards that front leg, keeping that leg where it is, so not letting it wing out. Arm up nice and strong. Feel the opening in that shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring that hand back down. We're going to step that front leg back. Downward dog. Spreading your fingers. Coming forward into plank position. Holding it here or dropping it to your knees right away. Knees come down. Elbows come back. Sphinx. Pull yourself forward. Lift the chest. Lengthen the neck. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring the hands back under. Instead of coming to downward dog, we're going to come onto all fours. So this is the pose of the day. This is puppy pose, but it's anahata, which means heart opening. So the anahata pose is a deep opening in the front of the chest. My hip is right over my knee, and I'm going to walk my hands out, and I'm going to keep my tailbone high. And maybe I can bring my forehead down. You can always use a block to place underneath your forehead or a pillow if that doesn't feel good to place your forehead all the way down. But eventually you can come down, forehead to the floor, and then just let your chest relax down to the floor. This is a gentle back bend, opening of the upper back. Breathe. Anahata, heart opening pose, pose of the day. Okay, let's find our way back up. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, downward dog, curling the toes, pressing back. So we're going to open up our hips. We're going to do this by coming into three-legged dog. I'm going to bring my left foot a little bit closer in, and my right leg can rise. And then I bend at the knee, and I bend at the ankle, flexing my foot, and then I lift my leg up and back, and then I can look underneath my armpit. Breathe here. Feeling into one-legged dog. And then let's bring that foot down. And let's try wide stance, downward dog with both legs. So you could shift, bringing your feet wide, and then just take your legs side to side, your body weight side to side, shifting. And then let's do the other side. So planting your right foot a little bit more center, left leg can come up, bend at the knee, flex the foot, lift the leg to the back, and look underneath your armpit. Okay, let's bring that leg back down. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet. From here, forward fold. rolling up or coming up with a straight back. Coming into your mountain pose. Notice how your shoulders and your hips feel. For balance pose today, we're going to do eagle, legs, and arms. So this is a balance pose. You could just do the upper body part, or you could see how the balancing of both parts go. So I'm going to bring my left arm here, my other arm around. And maybe it's just like right here is where you can go. Maybe you could wrap your forearms so that your palms of your hands come together. So we want to lift from the side. It looks like this. If this doesn't feel good to you, you could always just come halfway, right? So feeling into eagle arms and then shifting, lifting the left leg and wrapping around at the thigh. So some people can tuck their foot. I'm not a foot tucker, so I just point my toes and then sitting down as if you're sitting in chair and then keeping your elbows high. Find maybe something to gaze out in front of you. Eagle arm and eagle legs. Opening up the back of the shoulder area. And then take a deep breath in. Let's come out. Doing the other side. Right arm, left arm underneath or other way. Lifting the elbows. Notice my elbows are lifted from the view, from the side view. I shift. My leg comes over. And then I sink my hips down. Relaxing your jaw. And then taking a deep breath in and releasing the pose. Coming back into your mountain pose. Notice how it is that you feel. And we are going to move down and into seated pose. We're going to start with one leg long, and the other one I want you to bring in towards the inner thigh area. And you want to take that long leg out to the side. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. You could create some strength in this long leg by flexing the foot. And if you feel any minor discomfort in the back of your knee, you could place a pillow or a towel or a blanket underneath there. So we don't want to hyper extend the knee. And I know some people, that is a problem. So if that is a problem for you and you're feeling like, ooh, the back of the knee doesn't feel so good, put something underneath there. Okay, so we're going to rotate the body and we're going to rotate towards that long leg. And then I want you to feel as if you're hinging at the hips, keeping the back body straight, low back straight, coming over just as far as it feels okay to your body. We want the chest to come towards the thigh, and then the head can just relax in, chin to chest. No tension, just relaxing the head and the neck, letting the weight of the head open up the back of the neck. Now we extended the spine as we came over, so can we keep the spine long as we come up? And we're going to bring the hand, the opposite hand over here from the long leg, and we're going to come up and into a kind of a hip pelvis opening, shoulder opening pose. So I'm going to come onto the shin of this front leg. I lift, maybe my foot turns, my arm is up and to the back. So I'm opening up my chest. Breathe here. Then take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're going to switch to the other side. Leg long, sitting up nice and straight, checking in with the back of our knee. And then turning, twisting, shoulders coming over. Breathing here. Chin to chest, relax down. When you're ready, coming up nice and slow, lengthening the spine. Opposite hand from the long leg plants. We're going to come onto the shin. Okay, lift, open up the back body. Open up the front of the chest. And then slowly bring it back in, back down. Now let's try both legs wide. Sometimes people can't sit up straight when they are have their both their legs out. And this could be due to tight hamstrings. You could move your butt to the side so that you might be able to sit up. You might need to sit on a block or a pillow or a blanket. You might want to be here, and this is perfectly fine. Bend the knees. So this is an option here. So we're going to bring the arms up. Breathe, and we're just going to just like slowly rotate as we lengthen the spine. And the arms can become soft. The hands can be soft. We're just looking up at the sky. And when you're ready, if you're following along here, we're going to bring the arms center. We're going to bring the hands down. And this might be where you want to be. Look down. You could maybe walk your hands out and let yourself forward fold a little bit more into the stretch, hamstrings, inner thigh, getting nice and soft. And then coming up nice and slow, straight spine, long spine. And then let's bring the feet down to the ground, hands to the back, fingertips facing your feet. And then we're just going to windshield wiper those legs side to side. Now there's an option here. We're going to come into reverse table. You could just simply squeeze your shoulder blades and lift your chest up, keeping your chin tucked, your head in alignment. Right? We don't want to let the head drop all the way back. Other option, planting your feet hip width apart. We're going to press up and into reverse table, and I keep my head in line with the rest of my spine. I press and I breathe through any minor discomfort. Breathe here. Opening to wider circles. Opening your heart. Okay, let's take a deep breath in. And slowly come back down. We're going to grab the backs of our thighs and we're going to roll down nice and slow. Taking the feet up into the sky, you could come into happy baby and you could take it side to side. Knees are wide. Feet, bottoms of feet are facing the sky. Hands could be on the shins, the ankles, or the bottoms of the feet. Could turn your head side to side. And we're going to slowly bring those feet back down to the ground. And we're going to come into a spinal twist. So let's extend one leg long and then shift our body weight over to that side. You want to bring your hands out and bring the top of your foot to the thigh and then just roll open or roll to the side, roll to the side. And you could see if you could keep your shoulders rooted as you spinal twist to one direction. You could look the opposite direction of your knee. Breathe. Let's bring it back to center. Lengthening the opposite leg, shifting your body weight over to that side. The foot could come to the thigh and then rolling open. You could keep your arms out, looking in the opposite direction of your knee, rooting the shoulders back down. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it in. Let's bring our feet back down. We're going to press our low back into the floor. We're going to take our feet up into the sky. And then we are going to, keeping the low back down, just begin to move your arms and your legs. To make this a little bit more intense, you can always lift your shoulders and head off the ground. And begin to move your arms and legs in bigger range of motion. Slower, maybe. You want to make sure your low back doesn't feel compromised, doesn't feel like it's coming up off the ground. And if your head and neck get tired, just bring them back down. This is a good way to build core strength without having to use joints in your spine. And then when you're ready, let's bring the knees to the chest. Give them a little hug. Tuck your chin. And we're going to roll like a ball. So you could bring your hands to your thighs and see how it feels to come up and back, staying off of the neck and the head. Rolling up, you could cross your legs, coming over and walking back. We're going to do pigeon pose today, so bringing the knee between the hands and then walking that back leg back. If this doesn't feel good to you, you could always come over onto your hip. So if it doesn't feel good to be over or on your shin, and then extending the spine long, little back bend here. And then slowly coming forward, hands down, forehead can rest on your palms. And you could let the weight of your body relax onto your thigh, maybe letting yourself shift from one side to the other, just to feel a little bit deeper into this stretch. Bringing yourself back up. Let's bring that leg back and try the other side. Knee comes in. Come back, staying up straight for a moment, and then lengthening the spine as you come over. Hands, palms down, stacked. You can place your forehead down onto your hands. You could let your body shift side to side. And then finding your way up. Let's take that leg to the back. Planting your hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes, lift your knees, coming into your downward dog. Breathing here. We're going to bend our knees, walk our hands back towards our feet. You can either roll up or come up with a straight spine. You decide. And then finding your way to the front of your mat. So we are going to do triangle pose today. Sometimes I like to do it at the end of class because it is a pretty intense pose. So shifting your body weight, we're going to step back as if we're coming into warrior. The front leg, we are in warrior 2. The front leg is bent. My back foot is turned in. Triangle pose is where we straighten the front leg, bringing the arms out. We're going to lean forward and then bring your hands down and your arm up. You do not want to hyperextend that front knee, so keeping a little micro bend in it is the key here. Strong arm to the sky. You could bring it a little bit to the back to open up that chest a little bit more. And then using your core strength, we're just going to come back up. Nice and slow. Bending that front knee, stepping it forward. That back foot turns, steps forward. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to do the other side. So shifting your body weight. Leg steps back. Coming into our warrior 2. Front leg bent. Back toes turned in. Straightening that front leg, keeping a little micro bend into it. Reaching the arms out. Come over. Bring your hand to your shin or to the floor. Strong arm up to the sky. And then using your core strength, we're going to come out of this pose. Nice and slow and controlled. We're going to bend that front leg, turn that back foot, and step it forward. Taking a deep breath in and exhale down. So we're going to find our way into final relaxation on our back body. And remember, I mentioned at the beginning of class that if you like, you could use a blanket rolled You could also use blocks, but that's actually more intense. We'll talk about that another day. So this is at the base of my spine, and I'm going to move just a little bit to see how my body feels. And then I'm going to lower myself down onto this, and it's right supporting my spine. So when I get to here, my shoulders, they can relax down. Legs can either stay bent or they come out. Notice that this blanket is supporting my head as well. Opening to possibilities, to potential, opening the heart to the sky. And if you notice yourself holding tension in any part of your body, seeing if you can melt that away, getting big and getting heavy. If you find your mind wandering, just gently remind yourself to come back to this place, this time. And feeling free to stay here as long as you like.